Nelly, what's the best social media channel for estate agents? Talk to me.
Right, Chris, thank you very much. The best social media channel, depending on what is the end goal. And I would say probably Facebook is the number one channel I would use if the agents would like to generate leads.
And what do you call a lead?
A lead I would call a vendor, a landlord, a buyer or a tenant inquiring about a specific service, whether it's to view a property, whether it's to book a valuation, whatever it is that the agent is looking to promote. But at that moment in time, the best social media channel that produces those type of leads is Facebook.
Why do you think that is?
A very interesting question. I think that it's probably down to the channel itself, which is very targeted. So you are able to reach the right people with the right message better than any other social media channel. So Twitter, for example, is more about broadcasting news. LinkedIn is more B2B. And in the estate agency world, it's mostly to do with consumers. So if you want to go after, say, buyers or vendors, you need to understand who those buyers are. And the platform that gives you ability to find them, the easiest way is Facebook.
Okay, so let's look at Facebook. Are you talking about organically putting stuff out there, or are you talking about actually paying for adverts to go on there, or both?
Right, so organically, that's a very difficult game. So there is the threshold of 4,000 followers before you actually can get something back seriously from organic exposure. So 4,000 followers is a lot of followers. So you need to do an awful lot to get to that level. For anyone that has less than 4,000 followers, the only way to reach the audience that you're after is through paid, unfortunately.
But surely if people post their stuff on, let's say they're in a town called, I don't know, Droitwich, surely if they posted their stuff on the Droitwich group, Droitwich people would see it, and they'd see it for free, wouldn't they?
Yeah, so now you're talking group rather than reaching the people within their personal page. So yes, if you join a group based on the specific location, then you will be reaching the people that are members of the group. However, you need to also take into consideration that group, the aim of the group was put together to serve the community. And so if you as an estate agent join the group and start posting your properties for sale or book your free valuation here, you're only going to get people angry, and they're most likely going to check you out of the group. So the groups are not there for you to advertise your stuff. It's about reaching out, helping the community, communicating and finding out what the problems and issues are.
What do you think, what sort of messages should agents be putting out on Facebook then?
Everything should start with the goal of the agency. So if an agency wants to target more local vendors, then they need to understand exactly what type of vendors that they're after. How do they help those vendors? Why should those vendors use the service of that particular agency? And then create the content that helps the vendors in one way or another.
What does that look like?
There is an 8-step plan that we introduce when we run our campaigns, which is called the customer value journey.
Because you do work for an awful lot of estate agents with their Facebook marketing, don't you?
That's correct, yes. There are two main components in a successful digital marketing campaign. I like to think of digital marketing as preparing a meal. So to cook a really good meal, you need to have lots of different ingredients. So you need to know what those ingredients are. You need to know how much of each ingredient you need to put at what point. And the same goes with digital marketing, but there are two main ingredients that are needed to have a successful campaign. One is messaging, and the second one is sequencing. And this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that agents do when they plan their digital marketing, is that they, instead of thinking about the segment of the people that they're after and their messaging and then planning the sequencing, they go after whoever on a particular channel, and then they blame the channel or the company using the channel on their behalf for lack of results. So why are messaging and sequencing important? So if I look at the messaging, first of all, messaging is about what is it that you're telling your prospecting clients in order to get their attention. So if you want to attract more vendors who are, say, owners of 1 and 2 bedroom apartments in a particular area, what are their problems? Why would they like to sell? Are they selling because they want to upgrade? Are they selling because they have a newborn maybe, or they want to move abroad? Or what is the reason? Because ultimately what agents don't do is they don't sell houses. What they do is they help people transition from their before state, which is me having a 1-bed flat, to my after state, which is I now have a 3-bedroom house somewhere else.
Basically, someone moving from one chapter of their life to another chapter.
Correct. And this we refer to as transitioning. So agents sell the transitioning from the before and after. And once you know how you help someone, you can then articulate that in your messaging. Because I'm more likely to use your service if you talk to me, like you understand my personal problem.
Because a lot of agents, they often talk about themselves all the time, don't they? And how wonderful they are.
Yes.
Do you think that works?
Not if that's the first thing that they approach me with. If I like what they say and then I want to know how long they've been in business, or what their values and beliefs are, perhaps that's a question that they should answer at that moment in time. But if they approach me in their marketing a message with how great they are, how many awards they've won, that's nothing to do with me and my desire to move from before.
It's like someone talking about themselves all night at a party.
That's right. That's correct. Yes. I actually want to talk about me, not...
Okay, so I mean, in future videos, which we're going to be doing, which will be on my YouTube channel, we'll go into a lot more depth on Facebook, but what channels do you feel don't work so well?
One of the channels that I've seen a lot of agents use very regularly is LinkedIn, and they're using it specifically to go after buyers of properties that they have at the moment, and also vendors. And LinkedIn is a B2B channel, and it's really difficult to identify consumers on LinkedIn. And as much as LinkedIn is great for businesses, I don't believe that the success rate of generating leads and engagement from buyers and from vendors on LinkedIn is the right channel as well.
I would say that it is exceptional for landlords.
If we're talking about business as well, because landlords, again, you have accidental landlords and you have landlords that have several properties in their portfolio. Yes. So that's a business.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. You can actually use LinkedIn for that purpose.
And Twitter? I know you touched on it earlier on.
Twitter, it's an interesting one. We do use Twitter mostly for brand awareness because it's a broadcasting kind of channel. Okay. But so far, we've not come across anyone that has actually generated leads from Twitter.
I would agree with you. I think Twitter is a waste of time when it comes for a estate agency. And there's going to be an agent out there that says, I spent half an hour a day and got one property. I think there's better time spent elsewhere.
Correct.
What about Instagram?
Instagram, also a very interesting one. Being that Instagram is part of Facebook now, it is really easy to show your message on both Instagram and Facebook when you're preparing your content. Instagram is a very good platform for the younger generation. Yes. And there is a clear division there because the mums and dads are now on Facebook. A lot of the younger people have moved to Instagram, and that's a kind of cooler place to be. And so, again, it's down to the segmentation. Who is it that you're after?
And where are their eyeballs?
And where they are, yes. So if you are after students and you want to attract student tenants for your properties, then Instagram is a definite must. If, however, you want to attract people who are approaching their retirement age, then I wouldn't use Instagram as a channel. So really, the starting position is who is it that you're trying to communicate with, and only then selecting the channel.
Maybe in the next video we could go into a little bit more depth on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.